Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Euro breaking higher amid signs of compromise in EU recovery fund talks. Video.http ntvforex.com News ID 4F4D2C 7/20/2020 11:30:28 AM. Market overview. Traders come to their desks on Monday with a cautious risk-positive tone to sentiment. Europe is the focus this morning. There have been 3 days of intense discussions over the format of the proposed EU Recovery Fund, and as yet no agreement on how the push forward. However, the EU 27 are close. For now, the frugal four, the Netherlands, Austria, Denmark, and Sweden, are still standing in the way of agreement, but apparently Denmark is wavering and there is not too much between the two sides. The proportion of grants and loans of the 750 package seem to be the sticking points, and there could be potential rebates in the EU budget as further incentive to come to a deal. The talks resume at 1500 BST today. However, the feeling is that the talks are making progress. Markets are taking this all positively, as it would be a strong signal that the EU 27 is willing to push ahead with political union, and in allowing the European Commission to raise common debt, is a huge step forward on the path to fiscal union. Core periphery yield spreads are tightening. Italian 10-year BTPs over German Bund is around 162 bps and the lowest since March, whilst the euro is strengthening. Aside from the euro move, there is little real other direction on major markets aside from a shade of yen weakness. Equities are mixed into the European session, although US futures are unwinding the gains of Friday. Wall Street closed higher on Friday with the S&P 500 0.3%, but futures have slipped back early today. E-mini S&P 0.5%. This has driven a mixed session in Asia, with the Nikkei almost flat 0.1%, whilst the Shanghai Composite was 2.8% as buying took off again. In Europe there is a cautious start, with both DAX futures and FTSE futures around the flat line. In Forex, the euro gains are the main mover, whilst JPY underperformance is reflecting of the mild positive risk tone. In commodities, there is little direction on gold or silver, whilst oil is slightly lower by just over 0.5%. It is a quiet look to the economic calendar at the start of the week. The EU current account is at 0900 BST and is expected to see the surplus widening to 15.2 BN in May from 14.4 BN in April. There are a couple of Bank of England speakers who are testifying to the Treasury Select Committee at 1610 BST and could be of interest. Andy Haldane, the BOE chief economist, was the dissenting voter as the MPC extended QE last meeting, whilst Silvana Tenrero has previously talked of the prospect of negative rates. Chart of the day: USD CAD. Just as the oil price is struggling to break the shackles, we see the downside momentum on USD CAD. Stuttering CAD bulls are just taking a step back. The past month has seen a tight range formation which has broken a well-defined trend on USD CAD, which is not the only major pair to see this. The market is now consolidating between the support at 1.3480 and resistance at 1.3715. This consolidation range has broken a 4-month downtrend as the loonie bulls have been unable to breach the support at 1.3480. Despite this though, we still expect rallies to fade and our preferred move is a downside break to set in. As the market rebounded late last week, there is still a shallower downtrend today at 1.3625 that is a good gauge for failing rallies. Momentum indicators remain negatively set up on a medium-term basis, with RSI stuck between 40-50, MACD lines faltering under neutral and stochastics swinging lower again. We look to use this latest rebound as an opportunity to sell now. Last week's high of 1.3645 is initial resistance and the bulls can only realistically claim a recovery is underway above 1.3715. We position for a move below 1.3480 and a retest of 1.3310 in due course. Brent crude oil. There is still an edge of uncertainty over the outlook on Brent crude. After moving promisingly early last week, 2 successive small-bodied negative candles have once more pulled the bulls back from the test of $43.95. For now, there seems to be little real appetite to sell though, as there remains a run of higher lows intact over recent weeks. The first support of note comes in at $41.30. Momentum indicators are in consolidation mode as RSI continues to oscillate between 55.63 and MACD lines drift slightly lower. We take this to be a market biding time, rather than anything else, looking for the next catalyst. If supports begin to be breached, then perhaps the threat of a corrective move will begin to develop. However, for now, the overall pressure remains to the upside on $43.95 initially and then potentially closing the gap at $45.20. Dow Jones Industrial Average. The Dow sits tantalizingly close to a bullish break, but just cannot quite break free from the shackles of resistance. The downside gap from 26,940 may have been filled last week, but as yet has not been closed. The 2 daily candles since having filled the gap last Wednesday have reflected a market sitting with uncertainty. There is still the positive bias to moves, with momentum still ticking in positive configuration. The RSI a shade under 60 is still at 5-week highs and points to an upside break, whilst stochastics are strong and MACD lines positive. However, it needs to close the gap at 26,940 to truly open the upside to test 27,580 again. This is our preferred move in due course. There is a growing support band 26,300–26,610. Below 25,995 would begin to question the potential upside, whilst 25,525 is a higher low with growing importance. Read more analysis here. Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, Gold. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.